What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to How Do I Want to Do This? This is our series where we take a look at all playable options available to players in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, then we rank them on a scale of 1 to 10 and either build them or fix them depending on how they rank. Now today we finish up our talks on the Drunken Master Monk, and this, while being a really cool archetype, did not quite meet our standards for our ranking system. And so today we need to fix that subclass. So if you are excited to see what I have changed and made a little bit better with this, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. As you can see, most people who watch the channel are not subscribed, so please don't be one of those people. Help us to reach our goal of 5,000 by the end of this year. I really think that we can do it, but I need your help to get there. An amazing way to help out, of course, is to click the bell so you're notified when new videos are uploaded and share the video with your friends. Before we jump into today's video, I want to make a special shout out to our first silver or higher member of the channel, and that is Jordan Robinson. Of course, we launched our memberships a couple of days ago, and so he jumped in right there at the beginning, which is absolutely fantastic. Of course, if you want access to all of my fixes and all of my different types of build guides, that is the way to get a hold of those. Now, you do not actually have to be in the silver tier or above in order to get access to those. Just the bronze tier for $2 a month is all you would need in order to get access to all of these. And so please feel free to do that. It is by no means required and also by no means expected, but I appreciate all of you who take that plunge. So thank you, Jordan, and thank you to all of you who are considering it in the future. The Drunken Master Monk, like we talked about in Tuesday's video, which will be up in the iCard above for you, is a really cool take on the monk that is seen a lot in different types of movies, in types of TV shows, that sort of thing. And so it's a very popular way to depict the monk. However, when it comes to this specific subclass, it just doesn't quite do it. And there are just some really niche things about it that are hardly ever going to come up. And so it ends up leaving you without features a lot of the time, especially your features that come as part of Tipsy Sway at level 6 and Intoxicated Frenzy at level 17. So we are seeking to kind of shore up some things and to make sure that this subclass is boosted to where we think that it should be in order to make it just a little bit more satisfying. Starting off at level 3, we get the 2 features, bonus proficiencies and drunken technique, and I actually didn't make any changes to these. I really think that the flavor is fine on these, and drunken technique is actually pretty good. It's pretty well balanced, and it focuses on us using our flurry of blows, and that was kind of what I wanted to keep the focus on, at least in some of the other features, and so that's what we've changed in a couple other ways. And so I wanted to see just how much we could push this by changing the way certain things are worded. At level 6, though, we start to see a stark departure. And so I have taken away the ability to stand up from prone with only 5 feet of movement because it is, 1, really situational, and 2, if you're drunk and you're laying prone, would it not be more difficult to stand up? I don't know. I guess it depends on how drunk you are, but it just seems like that doesn't really fit with something called Tipsy Sway. And so I swapped it out for something that's a little bit more applicable. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of it. So with this, we've swapped out for Nimble Feet. And so what this will do instead is actually add to your AC. So you can use your reaction on your turn to possibly turn a hit into a miss by doubling your dexterity modifier that is affecting your AC. So let's say you're using the unarmored defense feature that comes with the monk. So it is 10 plus dex plus wisdom. So you've got, let's say, a +3 to your wisdom and a +4 to your dexterity. So normally you would have a 17. Well, now you would get 8 from the dexterity and 3 from the wisdom. So you would actually be at a 21 AC in that case, just for that one attack. And of course, it does also cost your reaction to do this. I think that this is a much more useful way to spend your reaction. And compared to something that allows you to stand up from prone really quickly, it fits the theme better and it's just going to be more useful. I considered making this something that would last until the end of your next turn, kind of like shield, but I feel like that might be a little much. And so that's why we've kept it this way. Now, we did keep the redirect attack feature, and we are allowing it to actually still proc on the same reaction that you have used for Nimble Feet. But it, of course, still costs ki, just like before, and the Nimble Feet is limited to proficiency bonus times per day. I think that this kind of ties those two features really well together, and now you don't necessarily have to spend the ki if there's nobody around, but you can still benefit from this. And so I really think that this is going to be incredibly helpful for not spending as much ki if you don't need to. And I think that this just feels a lot better for the subclass in general. Moving on to level 11, we kept Drunkard's Luck the same because it's just a really good feature. Being able to cancel disadvantage is really good. And so I really can't turn that down. So that feels really good where it is. I don't see a reason to get rid of that. Finally, at level 17, we did change how Intoxicated Fury works. And this feature was just so situational before that I just don't see it getting used. And if it is getting used, then it means that you're in a really bad situation. And so I thought that making this a little bit better would be appropriate, and I may have gone a little too far, but I really don't think so because, again, we're a monk, so it's kind of hard to actually do that. So we have changed this while staying within the same vein. And again, we talked about earlier how the whole point is for us to be running around the battlefield just in this crazy kind of stupor and just knocking out all kinds of guys. This will allow us to do that. So with this, instead of just making one attack per creature if there are 5 around us, we can actually make our normal 2 attacks against any creature that we want to, that we can reach not only by standing still, but also by our movement. And remember, we have a disengage going as soon as we use our Flurry of Blows feature. And so this means that we are able to run across the battlefield and pop every enemy that we possibly can with 2 hits as long as we have enough speed. And we have a ton of speed because we are a monk. This, of course, can then be used to Stunning Strike if you wanted to blow a bunch of ki or anything else that you wanted to do. But I think that this is really, really cool. And it's a lot better than having to stand still and make 5 attacks on 5 creatures around you. Instead, you can run around the battlefield and take the fight to them. And so that just feels a lot better to me. And it's going to be really satisfying for you, maybe not so much all the other people at your table who are sitting there waiting for you to roll all of those attacks. But either way, this is a really cost-effective way to make a bunch of attacks against a bunch of enemies. And I think it's really a worthy capstone. So that is my fix. It's pretty simple, but I really think that it actually fixes a lot of the issues that we have with this subclass, and it keeps it really very much in the same vein of what we're trying to do in the first place. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Of course, there is a full guide to this by joining the channel, and so I would really appreciate all of you for doing that. And until next week, when we start talking about the avatar itself, the Way of the 4 Elements Monk, we will see you all later. So I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.